Okay, I'm Brendan Payne with Century 21, and I'm sitting down with Jeff Buehler, one of our agents here at the office. And Jeff, going through and kind of getting an idea of your experience as an agent and with our company, how long have you been an agent in the real estate industry?
Just over 4 years.
Just over 4 years,
Yeah,
okay.
4 years June.
So what were you doing prior to getting into real estate?
I was in retail for about 10 years.
Okay. Doing in retail sales or management?
Yes, initially sales, and then was the general manager of a specialty retail store here locally.
Okay, and that's interesting because that's we've kind of come from the same background, so I know we've had some conversations on the similarities there. So when you started, what was the initial reason, when you're in the retail business and you're kind of looking at some options that are out there, what was the initial reason that you started looking towards getting into real estate?
The flexibility and freedom and to be my own boss.
Okay.
Kind of the perception of,
Right.
what I think kind of comes along with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own business and be my own boss, not to answer to anybody,
Right.
Especially the district manager or
Exactly, right? So I can set my own schedule, my own time, and my own freedom.
Okay, got it. So before you actually made the move, you're in a career type position at that point, I'm assuming.
Yes.
What type of concerns did you have before you actually made that jump?
Well, so I seriously, I looked at, okay, I did need to, I felt that I reached my plateau, so I was looking for something where I could advance. And so initially I felt, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to find a company that was going to provide me with the training, and, because I didn't know very little about real estate. And so as I was kind of researching, I was convinced of, to go with a company that provided an education type atmosphere.
Okay. And I know you said you've been in the business about 4 years, and you've been with us a little over a year?
Right at about 14 months.
Okay, so about 14 months. So you spent your first 3 years with a different company.
Correct.
Why did you decide to make the move from where you were with originally to come over here? What made you make that jump?
Yeah, so initially, had the mindset that, well, it's going to take some time to build momentum and generate business and because a repeat business. Well, by year 3, kind of realized I was just really kind of flat, and the training that was provided was kind of blind leading the blind. Really, there was no true kind of been there, done that experience. Coaching us into how to take our business from here to go to here.
Got it.
So then at that point I felt, okay, if I'm serious about this, because it really was kind of either I'm going to stay in the business and keep going, or I need to start looking at other options, because I was just afloat, really making the same amount that I was in my previous position. So I really wasn't advancing my career. And so with that, I felt that I was going to need a coach of some sort, and was researching different, coaching programs, and initially intended to stay with that company. And then, Greg's name kept kind of coming up on the radar, and ultimately I felt like, well, God, what an opportunity to have the coach here locally, kind of in the company that I would be with. And so then that's when I sought out to meet with Greg and have a conversation.
Okay, so take me back. I can assume at one point you say, okay, I got to make a move because what I'm doing right now is not getting me to my goals.
Right.
I'm making the same amount that I was before.
Right.
And probably that really wasn't worth, in your mind, making that move. At that point you needed to do more. Lots of options out there, lots of companies. Specifically, what do you think influenced you to come over here versus any of the other ones that maybe you get a coach somewhere else?
Well, so I felt that it wasn't really going to be the company that was going to do it necessarily. As far as maybe a branding standpoint, I knew that I was going to need to surround myself with those who have been there, done it, or are doing it. And with my previous company, the top producers, it's kind of a perception, well, this guy's doing 20 deals a year. That was kind of what to strive for. And then as I started to realize, well, no, there are guys doing 100 deals a year, 80 deals a year, 60 deals a year. It's kind of an eye opener, and just it just made sense. Well, if the top producers in the area are here, and then I can there was a correlation between Greg being a coach, that there had to be a connection there.
Okay.
And so that's why I decided, okay, it just made sense at that point to me. It's kind of an eye opener.
Okay. So before you came here, in your best year of the first 3, then how many deals did you do?
8.
You did 8. What are you on track to do in 2014? Where are you on track for?
Yeah, so currently 16 closed transactions, 4 under contract to close this week. So my target right now is about 34.
Okay, so you've already this year closed more than doubled your best year of the previous 3.
Correct.
Awesome. So what's next year's goal?
Next year's goal is certainly to surpass this year's goal and to do over 40 deals, 40 closed transactions for the year.
Okay, awesome. So when you did 8, was 40, what would 40 have been? Was it on the radar?
No way, yeah. So first year I closed, first year in the business I closed 6, and I thought, hey, this is pretty good, and I was actually kind of getting pats on the back from my company because that's what most everyone did. And then I hit 8, and I was kind of getting some recognition, and then I did 6 again, and so I could see, well, I'm doing this. And I thought, well, gosh, if I could close 1 deal a month, if I could do 12 for the year, to me that seemed like that would be a big goal to strive for. And again, I think it came down to, well, I was surrounded by those who were doing 8, 10, 12 deals a year, right? And that's what we were striving for. So being here where we're striving for a much larger goals and have the tools available to us to reach those goals. Yeah, now it's, looking at my plan in the next few years, there's no reason I won't be, in the top 50 doing 80 to 100 plus deals a year. I mean, that does seem like a reality to me now. Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. So what are a couple of things that you can put your finger on right now that has allowed you, that you've learned, that have allowed you to grow your business up to this point like you've already done?
First, to get out of my own way. Second, to listen to my coach and just kind of follow the process and stick with it, believe in it, kind of take that leap of faith and be persistent about it. Okay.
Now you've been in our area in a few different companies. So what would you say is the biggest difference between where you're at now in the environment or what we provide versus what's out there?
Well, we're all just, again, the environment of being amongst those who are doing it, and we all, just feed off of each other. The energy, the knowledge, everything that goes with it. It's, initially, I would say I did have this concern that, well, gosh, I'm going to come here and now I'm competing against Brendan Payne. I mean, how am I going to compete against you? Mm-hmm. And I quickly realized, well, no, you're a resource for me to help me, excel my business. You're not competition. You truly are a teammate, right? And we are on the same team. So that's definitely, really helped as far as the difference. The difference was I was in an office where it was closed doors. I had a nice office that I sat down in, door was shut. And I could go to somebody, but everyone was kind of, because we're only doing 6 to 8 deals. I can't give you my secret, of how I closed 6 deals.
Right. So if you sat down with a brand new agent thinking about coming in the business, what's one piece of advice that you could give them you think would probably be top of the list, most important?
The most important thing for a new agent is, well, to believe, to look at what are your goals, where do you really want to be, and then position yourself with a coach, whether it's with our company, an outside coaching company, but have someone that's going to really hold you accountable for your goals so that you can meet your goals. This business I mentioned, the flexibility of being my own boss, it's certainly there, but you still have to work every single day, and just following that schedule and that routine really has given me more flexibility because financially I'm better off than I was before. So closing a deal every other month versus now at least 2 deals a month, so it's giving me more flexibility.
Okay, great. So what do you think right now, knowing what you know and knowing what you've been exposed to, which has kind of opened your eyes, it sounds like, what do you think the possibilities are for your career?
I mean, they're really, they look good. I'll put it that way. I mean, I think about it all the time. I mean, one part of our company is more from just well, how many deals are you going to close? But it's really opened up, kind of a mindset, to believe in myself, to position myself of, thinking about those goals, thinking about the future, where I didn't really think about before, because I was more concerned about when's my next closing going to be, so that I can make sure that the bills are paid. So now it's opened up so much more. It is so much more than just kind of chasing that next closing to get a paycheck. It's about creating, a future.
So it sounds like you've got if I'm hearing you correctly, you've got the freedom now that, since you've got basically your income in being able to survive taken care of, now you've got the freedom to actually start dreaming and doing some bigger things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So one last question. In a sentence, how would you describe the company as you see it right now that you're with?
Dynamic. In a word, I would say dynamic. Again, just the camaraderie that we have, the true team atmosphere that we have, the energy that we have, that you bring, Greg brings, Danny, Mitch, everyone. I mean, we all really are, looking out to achieve that same goal.
Awesome. Jeff, great information. I know everybody's going to enjoy it. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right.